Hello. I've got my camera in a different place today, so I have to keep looking up instead of looking down. I've got you on screen, Amy. I've got you on screen prematurely because I like to do my little bit of intro and then bring you on screen. I've got the wrong setting pressed because I'm not prepared today, as you will see. People,
don't worry about it.
Give us a hey in the comments because I'm working through StreamYard again, so I can't see any of you. So just give us a little hello, let us know who's there and watching today. So before we dive in with Amy, it's not a surprise now because she's on screen because I pressed the wrong button, but never mind. Amy's on today because she's kind of, and that's what this is all about. So doing these lives is part of my mission to positively impact the lives of 250 women. So I set myself this scary goal at the beginning of the year. Can't do it on my own because I'm not everyone's cup of tea. So the idea was, let's find other awesome women that have got a different story to tell, a different flavour, and something else to inspire you, something to just get you thinking differently and taking action, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? We're not going to reach our goals. We're not going to, get those dizzy heights and fulfill our dreams if we don't push ourselves and stretch a little bit. So that's what this session is all about. Each week, Wednesday, 12:30, talking to a different woman each time with their story, some tricks about how to, get happier, more fulfilled, more successful, all of that shizzle. So today, it's Amy's turn. So Amy, my 3 words that spring I think about Amy. We've not known each other that long, but instantly it was the 3 Bs. She's bold, she's brave, she's a bit of a badass. So what I love about Amy is that she doesn't mince her words, she's unapologetically herself, and she doesn't suffer fools. So that makes her quite perfect in my eyes, really. So let's say, hey, welcome, Amy.
Thank you very much.
I feel like I need to pipe in some crowd noise at that point. I need the crowd goes wild in the background. I'm going to sort that for next week. The poor person that's going to be on next week is going to be like, oh my God, what have I let myself in for? So let's dive in on you then, Amy. Tell us a bit about yourself. Tell us what you do, what you're about.
So my day job is working in cybersecurity sales. So I work for a company called Cognisys. We specialise in security assurance testing, or you guys might know it as pen testing. So it's basically checking whether the company's secure or not and how a hacker might get into it. In my extracurricular time, outside of usual work hours, I mentor a group of students with a company called Capslock, which is an organisation kind of set up to help reskill people into cybersecurity. So I'm working with a team of 5 people and kind of helping them get into the infosec space. And then I've just finished this year's Artificially Unintelligent Awards, which was an award ceremony set up to highlight issues in the information security industry, raise some money for charity, and of course celebrate some absolutely amazing people who that in the industry that kind of go unrecognized as well. So my entire life is based around cybersecurity.
So you're full on geeking out about cybersecurity.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah, and I've got a 2-year-old as well. She's quite cool. She takes up a lot of time.
So what I was really interested in was, I suppose, 2 things. Being a female in that kind of industry sector must bring some challenges. So I want to kind of get your take on that. And then I also want to find out a little bit more about the awards. What made you set them up? What did you want to achieve by it? All that kind of stuff. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So being a woman in cybersecurity, I mean, people always say it must be quite difficult because there's not that many of you, but there's actually loads of us. I'm in a group chat with 8 women in cyber, and they're all top of their field. So I'm total imposter in the group. But yeah, there's a lot of women in cyber. There's more coming. there's like with the Caps Lock group, I think they've got like 30% of the people that are retraining to be in cyber are women, which is pretty cool. It's a nice ratio. Like in the company I work at, there's 40% women. So I think we're consistently highlighting the fact that there's not many there's not enough women being represented in the industry, and I think that is positively changing. It's definitely changed over the last kind of 5 years, how I've seen it.
Brill. Loving that. And you're kind of shaking it up. That's what I like about you. You're kind of, I'm here, deal with it. I'm a change maker. And I love the idea of the mentoring as well.
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to. No, it's fine. It's really nice to be able to like bring people into the industry. So, like when I first started out in cyber, I had no clue what I was doing, and there was a few key people that I talked to, and they really kind of explained the industry, told me people that I could go talk to, gave me some resources that I could kind of look up myself, do a bit of training myself. And I think it's just important to kind of pass that on to other people as well, to kind of give them the leg up, because it's not you don't always know where to look if you're not kind of in that world. So always happy to help people get into the industry.
Yeah, I like that, because I think mentoring is really important, isn't it? When you can see someone that's already walked that path, it makes it that bit easier, doesn't it, to think, oh, well, I might be able to do that because someone's gone before me. So I really like that.
Definitely. It's good that there's like a mix of, in cyber, it's good that there's like a mix of technical and non-technical roles as well. So a lot of people think, like, I'm sure my mum thinks that I sit in front of a screen all day with like lines of green code going past it, and I'm like, that could not be further from the truth.
Like the Matrix.
Yeah, pretty much. But there's loads of like non-technical roles that you can get involved in the cybersecurity space, which are really cool as well.
Okay, liking that. And tell us a bit about the Artificially Intelligent Awards. How did that come about, and how did it go? Because we've just missed it, haven't we? Wasn't it April?
Yeah, it was the 30th of April. So we set that up because there's loads of us in cybersecurity get emails from people all the time, like, you've won CISO of the Year Award, you've won Cybersecurity Influencer of the Year Award. If you pay $2,000 for a seat at this table, and you're like, well, I haven't won it then, have I? I've got to pay for it. So we kind of started it off as a bit of a piss take of that kind of whole thing. But it kind of grew from there. So we ended up using to highlight like issues in the industry. So like you were saying, there's not enough women. So we had a token woman award, because loads of us have been a token woman on a panel or a discussion or in a meeting. And then we also used the pay to play idea to raise money for charity. So we had one pay to play award, which you could win if you donated the most money to charity. So we ended up raising, I think it was like $11,000, which works out at about £8,000, I think. Don't quote me on my exchange rate, because I'm not into currency. But yeah, so that it was really positive. So I'm very happy with it, and we'll be back again next year, bigger and better, and hopefully with a bigger production budget, because we had to film it all ourselves on our phones.
And it was quite tricky doing it all online as well. So will you do it, live, or will you keep it online next time?
I don't know, actually. I was thinking this before, because if we did it in person, you probably wouldn't get the same reach. And I quite liked the online thing, because everyone could watch it, but also because you got to see people's creativity. So we kind of just said, this is what if you were presenting an award, we were like, this is what the award's about. Here's some words that we've come up with, but if you want to kind of mix it up and do your own thing, then feel free. So like Ian Murphy was wearing his kimono, lied on his bed, pretending that he just, well, maybe not pretending, knowing Ian, it could be true, pretending that he just finished his OnlyFans stream for the day. Or like Sean riding a kid's ambulance. But yeah, so it was really good to see kind of people's personality shine through in the way that they recorded the videos as well. So I quite liked that.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. So what kind of put you on the path with all of this? There's usually, some kind of adversity or a struggle or a challenge, or something that we learn in our life that puts us on this path of doing something different and kind of breaking the mold. What's your story in that sense?
Yeah, I think for me, things kind of changed in my life as they would do when I had a child. So that's obviously quite a big change in most people's lives when they have a baby. So when I had Margaux, I became a single mum, and I had to kind of move back in with my parents and really kind of start thinking about what I wanted to do and what role I wanted to do and kind of how I could support my little family. So I used to live in Manchester. So then when I moved back in with my parents in Leeds, I started looking for a role that was a bit closer to home. So I kind of put my CV out there, and it got picked up by an identity and access management company, which kind of also looks at cybersecurity as well. And I found out what an interesting industry it is, but also kind of what an inclusive industry it is, and how the community spirit in this industry is so it's amazing. And I really discovered like a passion for cyber. So I think the challenge that kind of pushed me in this direction was me becoming a mother and having to be an actual adult for once. Which I'm pretty right now, but yeah, that's the direction I'm going
in. I'm still resisting the need to be an adult though, for as long as possible. I think
that's
just hoping it'll pass me by.
That's my top tip: avoid being an adult at all times.
At all times and at all costs.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested in purpose and meaning, because that's something not new to me, but something that's become more important to me the older I got. Is less the just chasing the money, more of the what makes my heart sing. And don't get me wrong, the money and whatnot is still important, but there's something about just getting that rich, deeper, meaning in life, and work is part of that for me. Work gives me a sense of purpose and meaning. So what's your take on that? What makes you get out of bed each day?
Oh, well, money's kind of a big deal because I work in sales, so that's always helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been quite self-motivated anyway. Like, I always work really hard. If I put my mind to something, it's happening, and I will put my all into it. So there's a woman that kind of mentored me, she's been a friend, she's been a mentor, she's amazing, called Kate Wood. And she runs the Women in Tech Network in the North. And she said to me once, to get your whole self out of something, you have to put your whole self into it. And that's something that I really subscribe to. Like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it wholeheartedly. So like with with the awards, we only came up with a concept for it in February, and at the end of April we'd raised $8,000 and put on a full show, dinner and a show. So I think I'm quite a self-starter anyway, and I'm not sure whether that's genetic or how I've been brought up, but I've always been I don't know, I just like doing things. I hate being bored. And again, I work in sales, so I'd be lying if I said I wasn't money orientated at some level. But always in an ethical way. So I know loads of salespeople get a really bad rap because they're always out for themselves, or they're just trying to flog stuff to a customer and then they kind of disappear into the sunset. So that's not what I'm about. I'm all about caring. I care for the customers. I'm passionate about cybersecurity, so I want to help people get better. So I can honestly say that I'm not just in it for the money. And obviously I've got my 3-year-old as well, who quite literally gets me out of bed every morning. And I want to give her a great life and stuff. So yeah, that kind of motivates me to do a good job and kind of push forward as well.
Yeah, lots of factors really, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think for anyone they can say there's one thing that motivates them. I think it's got to be a combination of things, because if that one thing disappears out your life, then what you're going to do, lose all your motivation. I think you've always got to have multiple goals that you're working towards, multiple things to be thinking about.
Yeah, that's what makes life rich and interesting, I suppose, isn't it? And kind of multifaceted, really.
Definitely.
So I'm all about being our best selves. So, loving who we are, digging our authenticity, and really appreciating and understanding what our value is, and therefore commanding that. Because I think when you get just how valuable you are, it's easier for you to kind of stand up and ask for what you want and get what you want. We all have different ways of doing that, and that's what I love about the whole diversity of humanity. I think I've said it before, it's like slices on a rainbow, isn't it? We all contribute that unique little segment of the rainbow that makes this whole beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. So what's your you know, superpower or your special sauce? What's that thing that you add into that rainbow?
Well,
What makes you unique?
I'm known as the sweary wine lady, which probably sums me up quite well. I think, no, seriously, I think I've written it in my LinkedIn bio, actually. The thing that makes me unique is that I'm unapologetically me. I think you said it at the beginning of when you introduced me as well. Like, all the time, I'd never put a filter on, except for on the selfies, because everyone needs a filter on the selfies. So I always try to be authentic. So, I mean, when I always put video on Zoom calls, because I always think if someone says something to me that I don't like, it's going to show straight on my face. I'm always happy. I'm always happy for people to know what I'm thinking. But I've also got a really, really, really positive mindset. Like, I get told this all the time that I'm really positive, unless I'm watching Rick Stein on Saturday Kitchen, because I can't stand him. But other than that, I'm always usually got a smile on my face, and I'm always trying to think positive. And I work really hard as well. So I think if I've got an idea and I want it to happen, I'll just find a way of making it happen. So my dad used to always say to me, like, pain is temporary, but pride is forever. So put the hard work in and deal with the pain now. But when you've finished something and you've got you've achieved a goal, you get to be proud of it for the rest of your life. And I always think that's a really good quote to kind of live by as well.
Yeah, I love that. So pain is temporary, pride is forever.
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah. Yeah, I like that. There's a lot of truth in that. It's a little bit like my post yesterday about procrastination, where we put stuff off instead of just dealing with that bit of immediate pain to get over the hump. We kind of put up with a lot of shit in order to not fail to and do stuff that we don't really want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to remember that one. Thanks, Amy's dad. And what's your... You might have answered it in that question, but I'm always interested in learning. One of my all-time favourite things to do. I just geek out on learning and, you know, self-improvement and personal development and all of that good stuff. What's your biggest learning?
My biggest learning in life is the only person you can rely on is yourself. So it sounds like really sad and negative and like, I've got no friends. I've got loads of friends and I rely on them for loads of things. But the only person really deep down that you can rely on is yourself. If you want something doing, you just need to go do it. There's no point asking someone else to do it for you. If you want something to happen, if you want to make a change, then go make that change yourself. Like, I always say that you make your own luck. Like, people are like, oh, good things come to those who wait or whatever. No, they don't. Good things come to those who go out and find them and work for them. Right? Good things come to those who laugh. Go and do something about it. That is my biggest learning in life. If you want something to happen, make it happen yourself.
I love that. I'm all over that. Haven't always been, no. Had quite a bit of victim mentality in the past. I think, why things happen to me? This is so unfair. Yeah, and it doesn't get you anywhere ultimately, does it? But that attitude of, if you want it, yeah, it's like put up or shut up, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Quit whining about it. If you want it, go out, get off your ass.
Exactly. Go be the change that you want to happen.
Yeah. Loving that.
Sounds so wise, though. I'm really not normally.
So you do. You're on your best behaviour because it's LinkedIn.
I'm going to start selling Etsy quotes. I'm going to start selling quotes of myself on Etsy, I think.
Do you make a nice little sideline? Margaux's college funds.
I don't need any more side hustles. I've got enough going on right now.
Yeah, I bet. So my final serious question, as I think of them, I'm all about confidence. So that's one of the things I'm really passionate about, is helping women to, you know, sort of step into that, because I think you can nail that self-confidence piece. Everything else is that bit easier because you're betting on you, a bit like, you know, you were just saying, really. So what's your top tip? Doesn't have to be around confidence, but what's something that you want to pass on to people that's worked really well for you in an area of your life, make your life better, you know, happier, more fulfilled, anything like that?
Well, in terms of confidence, I keep saying this to people all the time, just fake it till you make it. Honestly, it sounds ridiculous, but if you just pretend to be confident, eventually you'll just be confident. Like, people just believe you. Me and my brothers, we are arguing. I think I've actually learned this from being at home with my two brothers. They are so annoying, and we have arguments all the time. And if you just say if you say your side of the argument with enough conviction, they'll believe you, and they do it back to me. If you just fake the confidence, like I say stuff to them all the time that's not true, but I just say it with enough confidence that, like, oh really? Done. So fake confidence. There you go. And my other tip is don't look at a setback as a setback. So look at it as an opportunity to learn. So look for the positive in the situation. So as I said, people always call me out for being a positive person, but if something bad happens to you, then you can either sit and dwell on it for the rest of your life, or you can go, right, shit, that didn't work. How can I fix it? How can I do it differently next time? Like, the setback that you have is never going to be like life ruining. So you can always find an opportunity to learn from it. I mean, I've got moments of self-doubt. I know it's unbelievable that I sometimes suffer from things like imposter syndrome or just like crises of confidence, but that's what your mates are there for. If your mates tell you that you're fabulous, then you feel fabulous again, don't you? Like me and my girl gang, as I call them, we provide what I call fangirl as a service for each other. So if one of us is feeling a bit down or we're doing something like a live program like this, then the other ones are usually in the comments going, yay, go Amy, yay, go Sarah. Just picking each other up. So yeah, don't look at it as a setback. Get yourself a good girl gang that use fangirl as a service with, and fake your own confidence.
There's a lot of truth in that, though. I mean, you know, the science tells us that, doesn't it? If you can choose your beliefs ultimately, can't you? And if you choose to believe that you are that person, that you are confident, that you can achieve things, our brain can't tell the difference ultimately. So if you put that good stuff in there, your brain will build those neural pathways that make it happen. So you're absolutely right.
I actually remember,
believe it until you make it.
I remember being at school, being about 7 or 8, and seeing some girl who was really chatty and she had loads of friends, and I was quiet and sat in the corner by myself. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to be like her one day. And I literally just, I think I just must have had like a personality switch, because I just started talking and then didn't talk. Like, and I've not shut up since I was like age 8. I actually remember thinking to myself, just go start talking to people. And I did, and that was it.
Wow, that's really impressive for the mind of a child, though, isn't it? I love that. We could all do with a bit more of that, couldn't we? I want this. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go and get it then.
Pretty much.
And that's one of the things that's inspiring about you. So I've got a couple of I was going to say silly questions. They're not like silly, but, you know, questions that I'm always interested in, like what's your favourite food and guilty pleasure. So I'll do that. Whilst I'm doing that, I also want this to be like an opportunity to get people connecting with each other. So if you're open to connecting, put it in the comments, just put open to connect. Amy will share her handle at the end of this. And yeah, so, you know, check her out. If you've got any questions for Amy as well, stick those in the chat and we'll go through that in just a sec. So, Amy, the important question is, what kind of cake or biscuit do you like? Because that's one of my favourite things in life, basically. What's yours?
My favourite cake is probably a lemon drizzle. I love lemons.
Oh, but it's going to be tart, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to be like that kind of gets you a little bit.
Oh, like a Victoria sponge.
Loving that.
Like a sponge cake that's got lemon curd in the middle of the jam. Pretty good.
Oh, I've never had that, but I can see the attraction. Yeah. Like a Vicky sponge, as long as it's like a nice moist sponge, not one of those where it's a bit too firm and a bit dry.
No, that's exactly right.
That will not do for me.
No.
And guilty pleasures. We were talking about guilty pleasures last week with Anne-Marie, and I confessed about my pork scratchings and my out-of-date Bailey's cream each year that I eat out of the tub when it's 2 days out of date, because every year I forget and then I find it on the 6th of January and it's always 4th of January used by. So that's one of my guilty pleasures. Give us one of yours. Doesn't have to be a food thing. It can be anything.
Probably not a surprise to everyone, but my guilty pleasure is wine. It is. I literally on my bio on the Artificially Unintelligent Awards website, it says that I invented Wine Wednesday, because it's when on a Wednesday you just have to drink wine. And now I've made it a thing on Twitter, and loads of people get involved and just get pissed on a Wednesday. So apologies to employers of the people that get involved, because no one's doing any work on a Thursday morning. But we do all get pissed on a Wednesday night now. Or whiskey. Whiskey's allowed. I'm allowing that one because it begins with a W. As long as it alliterates, it's all right.
Wow, whiskey's pretty hardcore though, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, it's not for me.
I remember getting very drunk on whiskey when I was 16. Yeah.
I've never been able to drink it
since. It's always the way, isn't it? Yeah. It's like Diamond White. I had an experience with Diamond White as a teen as well. Never been there since either, but I think no one needs to go there when it comes to Diamond White.
I was going to say, I don't think anyone over the age of 16 should be drinking Diamond White, to be honest.
Yeah, it is one for the kids.
Yeah.
And final question: is there, what's your favourite thing on Netflix or a podcast or YouTube channel? What are you into at the minute in terms of infotainment?
So I'm actually in a Signal group called Murder Chat, which sounds really sinister, but it's not. It's just where we talk about murder documentaries that are on Netflix. So the latest one I've watched is The Staircase. Everyone should go watch The Staircase. It is the weirdest murder program I've ever watched in my life. It's a documentary that this guy got filmed as he was going to trial. So he's on trial for murdering his wife who's fallen down these stairs. And he's saying he didn't do it, and did he do it? Did he not? Did he do it? Did he not? It's a bit like it's literally like it's like Gone Girl. Like you don't know whether he did it or not, like all the way through. And then it's but it's a true life documentary. It's so weird. Definitely the best thing I've watched recently.
I will check that out.
Yeah.
And that brings us nicely 3 minutes to 1. I'm not seeing any questions in the chat, so it looks like you've got away with it lightly. Who knows, we might get something on the old hashtag replay. But yeah, go connect with Amy because she's totally awesome, as you can see. And all about cyberspace and security. I love that. It sounds so interesting as well that there's so many different careers, because I did think it was going to be like the Matrix, to be honest, as well, like your mum.
Yeah, it's definitely not like that at all, I promise. So yeah, if anyone's interested in getting into cyber, then feel free to give me a shout, and I will, of course, try and help wherever I can.
Wonderful. Well, you've been me. Thank you for your time today in joining us. And,
no problem.
Have a great rest of the week, folks.
Speak to you soon, guys.
Catch you later.